Hello, I'm Kweku Achenie for HOMTV, and welcome to this special interview to commemorate Women's History Month. The rest of this month, HOMTV will be speaking to different female leaders around the township to commemorate this great holiday. Today, I'll be speaking to Abby Tithof, Director of Human Resources from Meridian Township. So my first question for you is if you just want to introduce yourself and what your job entails as the Human Resources Director.
Sure. Well, I don't know if you know, but I just joined the township in August 10th, 2020. And as the HR director for the township, I am basically responsible for all of our 7 unions, and I will be the lead on our negotiations. When we go back to the table, we have all of our current union agreements settled and in place. And so when we go for the next round, I will be working on that. I just completed, we have our local officials compensation commission, and I am the lead on that. I'm not the chair, I'm not on the commission, but I'm the facilitator and coordinator for it. So I get everything together so that we have those and we get our salary set for all of our elected officials with the township. And then all things payroll, employment, onboarding, the entire selection process. And right now it's pretty happening here at the township. We have a lot of active job postings going on. So I'm just trying to think. There are a number. I mean, we've got pensions. We have 2 different pension plans that we still work with, and defined contribution retirement plans. So since I got here in August, I've really been spending a lot of time just getting familiar with all of our different systems and our different plan administrators. I jumped right in at budget time, trying to get familiar with how we operate our township budget. And that's a big part of it, which that was also really attractive as an applicant for the job, because I was really, really proud of how our township handles its budget and its responsibilities. So, we also have a personnel policy, so I'm responsible for making sure that that's current. All of our employment related stuff, I am responsible.
So now having that job, as you know, the month of March is Women's History Month, and now having that job and being a female in a leadership position, what would you say is kind of like the significance of that, like being a female leader in the township?
Well, it feels good to have a voice and to take part in this collaborative experience. We have a number of directors who meet every Monday, and we talk about what's going on in all of our departments. So it feels great being part of that process. And I am just by nature a very curious person, so I really like to know how things work. So learning from everybody from their perspective, what's going on, what's working, what's not working, and things that we just have to do to keep our operations effective. Just that entire process, and getting to know the people, just the people themselves, and everybody who makes this township run. I mean, it's extra interesting because we're in a pandemic. So I went from my former job, where we had been working remotely from March, and they're still off. They're still not back in the building. And then I returned to the building when I started here in August. And, there are a lot of people that I've only gotten to see most of the time through Zoom. So it's a unique getting to know you kind of period right now, but it's really good.
Yeah, and I know a big goal for the township in 2021 is the plan of the diversity, equity, and inclusion. So,
Right?
what would you say is like most important about that?
To be part of it, to do it, to inspire people to pay attention and get curious, ask a lot of questions, break down, get over ourselves a little bit, and ask about things or people that you haven't been around, or that you just, I don't know. It's just like for me, even as just a new person here, just getting to know people in general. But then I think what's really exciting, and I mean, in my former job, we also did diversity, equity, and inclusion type stuff. And I was always a big fan of signing up for any group that I could get into. So you really get, I think your life is richer when you get to know more people.
So would you say like getting to know more people and meet all these new faces, would you say like that's your favorite aspect of this new job that you have?
And especially people who may not have, sorry, your screen froze up. I'm like, are you there?
Oh yeah,
So
sorry.
it's okay. It says my internet connection is unstable, so bear with me. But I don't know if you heard what I said, but it's just being involved with different people and getting comfortable talking. I think that's a real big challenge. Like people get nervous, they're afraid they're not going to say the right thing, or, you know, we all have our own experiences in life, and sometimes that shapes our confidence and our ability to just start a conversation. So hopefully with our diversity, equity, and inclusion, that we start training people and kind of demonstrating that it's not, just go for it. Just go for it. Just take that first step. Just say hello. You know, if somebody, even if somebody works in just a different department and it's something that's not familiar, or, you know, they just walk by and nobody says anything, you know, try something different. Say hi.
Yeah, so yeah, you said like meeting new people, like would you say that's your favorite aspect of this new job that you have?
Oh my God. Yeah. And I don't know if it's just, you know, I have got new eyes all the way around this pandemic and the remote work and the social isolation and having young children at home. I think that, I mean, my heart was soaring when I came back here in August. When I walked in, you know, I think people were probably like, wow, what's going on? But just meeting all the people who were here, and I mean, we weren't full staffed, but just gradually as things come through and as I was getting familiar with the job and having to ask people questions, that making those connections felt great. And
Yeah,
it's
I
an
know.
environment here.
Yeah, I know. Like me being a younger person, it's like wow. Like I never would have imagined like having to go through a pandemic my junior year of college,
Right.
and it's like kind of like if you were younger, like what would you tell? Like what would your younger self like? What would you give? What advice would you give your younger self now that you are where you are?
Definitely, I would tell my younger self to just shake off the nerves. You know, don't not try something because it's uncomfortable. Or, you know, I'm more introverted. So sometimes it takes a little bit more for me, or I need to kind of recharge and then go back out into the world. But I think for my younger self, I would definitely offer more encouragement. Just keep trying, talk more, get to know people. It can only bring you something good.
So in terms of like you said recharge, like what's your method of recharging? I know for me like recharging, I always like to like, kind of just get a notebook. All right, like today I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna get this, and this done. And then afterwards I'm gonna go to the gym. And then that's like my day completed and that's my recharge. What would you say your recharge is?
Well, I also appreciate accomplishment. I am the Uber list maker. I mean, since I got here, oh, if I could just tell you, I love engineering paper. Like it's got teeny tiny little graph bits in it. You can break it up into different categories. So it's fantastic. So I pack every single thing that occurs in my day that I either have to remember, do something about, or think about for the future. It's always going down in these pieces of paper and it gets reviewed, and it's magic to me. It works. People think it's crazy and they look at it and they're like, it's chaos. And it's like, not for me. It's perfect. But I think for the real recharge, after I get through and I like my achievements like you do, that I like to get near nature. And we're lucky here because we got a lot of that. Just getting near water, listening to the birds, smelling the evergreen trees. It's a good reset.
Yeah, so I know I haven't been to any national parks around here. I'm from Virginia, actually. Where,
Oh, Virginia's beautiful too.
Yeah, it's got its own, like, all the mountains and stuff.
Right?
So around here, like, are there any like national parks around here that you would recommend going to?
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, the township is we're packed loaded. We've got so many different kinds of parks, and some of them, if you're a social person, there are the parks that are right up here. There's Wanch Park, and it's got this great big pavilion, so you could hang out with friends, have an outdoor barbecue. There's playground, there's tons of space, and there's a big walk path that actually goes around the river. It's beautiful. There are certain times of the year you want to watch out because it can kind of get a little mosquito-y here and there. So you got to game it just right, or go on a windy day and then you're set. But if you like sports or whatever you like, if you like to hang out with people, if you like to just have quiet, solitary time, I mean, we got it. We got options out here. There's the park, I think it's Ferguson Park, which is right across from Wanch. It's a gorgeous river, and you could go sit on a rock and just watch the water go by. And if I'm not mistaken, I think you can rent canoes from East Lansing, and you can even go on a little trip. We got lots of waterways around here. But yeah, whatever, if you need quiet, peaceful, or if you are an extrovert and you just love to be around others and that builds you, that energizes you, it's here, it's ready.
Yeah, like I've done like I've canoed only a couple times, but I prefer, like, I don't know if you've been tubing before, but
Yeah, yeah,
tubing's a really good time.
it is. The Osable River is known for its river trips. That's an option if you like tubing, and it's not too far away. Uh, yeah, I mean, how long have you been in Michigan?
I've been in Michigan. This is my third year.
Third year. Have you been up north?
Yes. I don't know. Do you know Crystal Mountain?
Yeah, of course I do. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a lovely area. Even the drive there, once you get past Clare, it's
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, that's like near the center of the earth to me. I love that section. Up near the Sleeping Bear Sand Dunes.
Yeah.
Glorious. Glorious. Yeah. And it hasn't changed. I mean, ever since I was old enough to be aware, the environment is the same, and they haven't built it up. There's not a bunch of houses and whatever. It's just exactly as it was. It's locked in time, and that's national parkland up there.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I remember it was a 2.5 hour drive from here to Crystal. I went with my two roommates, and I remember just like on the drive over, I'm like, wow, like everything it was so different. It's like more
Oh,
open.
yeah. Yeah, you can definitely breathe. That's a wonderful recharge. Yeah, if you get back up there, seriously, even they installed, well, trails like we have here. They have trails up there that go all the way from, I think, from Crystal Lake, like all the way up towards M22 and up to Leelanau, like into the actual Leland. Oh, it's bonkers. You'll pass a whole bunch of lakes and trees, and it's nicely kept, and it's like total tranquility. It's really pretty.
Yeah, so that's kind of all the questions I had to ask. Before we end, was there any other advice that you would offer up to aspiring female leaders, not just in the township, but everywhere? Like any advice that you would have?
I think it's probably similar to what I'd say to my younger self is just, talk to people, learn about them, find out who you are and what your strengths are and what you really enjoy. I think that's the biggest part of it. Find out what brings you joy and really try to pursue that path, because once you figure it out, only good things happen.
All right, well, yeah, thanks again, Abby. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you for your time.
Well, likewise. Thanks for the interview. It's lovely talking to you. See, this
Yeah.
is my opportunity. I got to meet you. So we're great.
Yes, yes. I'll definitely make sure to reach out to you again.
That'd be awesome. I love it. Well, good luck with your interviews and with your experience. And yeah, if you ever have questions for me on the HR side or township side, if there's something I can do, holler.
Yep, and you enjoy the rest of your Women's History Month as well.
Thank you much. Thank you.
Make sure to stay tuned the whole rest of March as we interview more female leaders in departments around the township. This has been Kweku Achenie. Thanks for watching.